Alright, Shalom. This is Brother Tazabah.
Bars off.
We're the brother from the GMS Atlanta camp. Want to start out by giving all glory and infinite praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and the elders at Great Millstone that teach and that rule well. Salutations to the Akim throughout the four corners that are putting their life on the line week in and week out, in season, out of season, to prophesy the gospel of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, to make their call and election sure. And salutations to the few women and children that do subscribe to this truth and faith and sincerity, all charity and subjection, because that is the key. And with that, we just wanted to come real quick. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying, because as simple as it may come off at times, Jake still has to be reminded of the simplicities of the Bible, how Esau can take a simple understanding of the Bible and he'll pervert it, man. And what we want to go in on is all sex is not lawful, man, because Jake is out here now thinking, running on a train on a female is okay, having a threesome is okay, sleeping with a mother-daughter combination, or sleeping with two sisters at one time is okay.
They're saying with twins, that's been a big thing.
Jake wanting to sleep with twins. All of that is off, man. All of that is against the scriptures, because these are the things in which the heathen practice, man. Mm-hmm. The reason the Lord destroyed the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the roundabout cities. Why? Because of the unlawful sex acts that they were committing, man.
That's right. The sex practices. The
sex practices, the water. I'll start out here in Romans, and through the Spirit, we're going to jump around, and Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. This is Romans chapter 1, verse 26. For this cause, the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women, matter of fact, Salakia, I'm going to read up to verse 25. Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Verse 26.
Well, if I can say something.
Yeah, you got it.
It says they worship and serve the creature more than the Creator. The word creature deals with people, so to speak. Mm-hmm. We are the ones that was created from the Heavenly Father, and we're creatures on earth. And Jake worships women. They worship the vaginal organ.
And women worship rods, man.
And women worship rods. And the concept of people is the more the merrier, and the more sexual escapades or the sexual acts that you indulge in, the more powerful you are.
God.
You see, that's why there's people that indulge in orgies. There's people that indulge in all kind of sexual perversity, and they basically get fulfillment out of these things.
God.
Which the Heavenly Father, He condemns those acts.
Okay.
You can keep going, though.
Verse 26. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. Mm-hmm. For even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
See? And when you even deal with the concept of nature, a lion isn't popping multiple women at once. You don't see frogs laid up, or any type of species or animal. You don't see them just laid up in a harem with multiple women, and they're just layered, and they're just frolicking with all of them constantly. It's the main concept of sex is the act of reproduction. And in today's time, people don't even have sex in terms of reproduction. You see, because we're really living in the last days, and as it is written in Amos, thy wife shall be a harlot. And of course, we do it for pleasure and things of that nature too. Sex is a act of pleasure. But people take it overboard in these days now. That's why homosexuality, lesbianism, these things are trending. The homosexual and gay lesbian community, which they call the LGBTQ community. Yeah, Q community is growing and thriving. Because of people's sexual affections and their wicked perversities. And then you have legislations and policies to give the right of passage to do these freaky acts. But if a man were to be a polygamist, and he would deal with multiple women or have multiple women, they would look down upon that. You see, so as it is written in Isaiah 20, the 29th chapter, surely a turning of things upside down. Esau has turned everything upside down, and the Most High sets men up to turn things right side up and tell you, all right, do it this way, Jake. Don't do it that way. That's not the right way. That's why we're actually expounding upon this lesson to shed light on this, because we all have sex, or brothers were eunuchs, or whatever, the brothers abstain from sexual practices. They had sex. We all know how it goes down. But you always gotta, like the scripture says, rightly divide the word of truth, so you don't indulge in certain things that might piss the Heavenly Father off. You got it.
Matter of fact, we can just jump into the bulk of it, and we'll go into this the definition of the etymology of lesbian. So if it'll pull up, man, that's Satan. I'm gonna just get the etymology of orgy real quick. Lord, permit it.
The lesbian.
Okay. This is the one for orgy. It says secret rites or ceremonies in the worship of certain Greek and Roman gods, especially Dionysus and the Salakia. And it says especially those of Bacchus. This is traditionally considered or derived from the root work or activity. Let's go down. I want to hit the main points. It says celebrating it with extravagant dancing, singing, drinking, etc., which give etc. without a workout. Which give etc. quite a workout. So they're going into it and saying, with all of these things that the Romans and the Greeks went into, to say etc. is an understatement, because they took it too far. Etc. is what means so on and so forth. And Esau went past so on and so forth. That's why they said to with quite a workout.
Yeah, what they call uncharted territory.
Okay.
And it said it was in worship, and it was to pay homage for the gods Dionysus and Bacchus. And you would have the big Greco-Roman celebration. It originated in Greece. When you read, if I'm not mistaken, Second Maccabees, or First Maccabees, the 6th chapter, how they would worship the god Bacchus. But in this, in the worship of Bacchus, they would have Bacchanalia, which Bacchanalia was extreme festivity, and it was centered around sexual perversity. You see. But in today's time, it's starting to become a norm. When you, these Generation Z children, these Generation Y 90s babies, which I was born myself in 92, certain brothers 91, 90. Your parents didn't know lawful sex from. Of course they dealt with, it was a man and woman connection to actually birth you, but they never told. A lot of them don't understand that lesbianism isn't wrong. Isn't right. According to the scriptures, they can't tell you, all right, this origin dates back to Bacchus, this dates back to the Romans, this dates back to the Greeks. You see?
God.
But that's why the scripture says to study to show thyself approved.
Right.
And we're going to etymology, which the word etymology deals with the origins online and the origins of orgies, which we in Atlanta. You got brothers that stay in California, Hollywood, out there in New York, Manhattan, these mega cities that Esau and these so-called penny pushers, so to speak, these the rich or the elites, as you know it, they stay in these major cities, and it's all kind of orgies and filthism that goes on. You see what I'm saying? We're living in the age of pornography,
and all of that is going off in the sense of whether you're partaking in running a train or a threesome, you're causing another woman to look upon the nakedness of another woman, which is off. And if you men out there running trains on women, which is completely off, you're looking upon another man's nakedness, man. And we have an example of what happens when you look upon another man's nakedness in the scriptures. All right, this is Genesis chapter 9, verse 23, which is another indicator if you can see things through spiritual lenses, that causing two women to lay down with each other, or two men laying down with one woman, is off, because looking at the nakedness therein is Genesis chapter 9, verse 23. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backwards and covered the nakedness of their father, and their faces were backwards, and they saw not their father's nakedness.
Yeah, and you have this guy in today's time, which it was came out a couple years ago. This homosexual nature boy, he had his son funneling his rod, and he's basically saying that's just a natural thing. You know, we just do that, which their community is all about dressing up, or not dressing up, but uncovering themselves and not wearing a damn thing. You know, and they try to play that upon, oh, that's how man was created. Adam and Eve, when they were created, they were naked. And then when their sin was revealed, that's when they started to know that they actually didn't have clothes on. So man in its purest essence was without cloth. And that's a total, you know.
It's a farce.
It's a farce. It's a like scripture speak about, what's the saying?
Fables.
Fables, yeah. The scripture speak about fables and things of that nature. You know? So, like I said, this guy, Nature Boy, he had went into that. But when you go into the law, which this is a lawful act, these men had the law instilled in them, and they know that it was unlawful to see the nakedness of your father or your mother, or brethren, or your daughters and
your
things
auntie,
of that nature. Your aunties,
your uncle. It's basically family, man. Even a child that is born within your household, your brother's not supposed to look on his sister's nakedness, man. Even if she was born in the house. All right, now I'll continue.
Yeah, now, of course, you know, it's certain clauses. I wouldn't say clauses, but it's certain situations like a mother breastfeeding her daughter. That goes without being said. A mother-child relationship where a woman has to uncover herself because, you know, dealing with nature. It's a certain time when a woman actually, you know, births a child and her mammary glands activate and she secretes milk from her breast to nurture the child. And that's the only... that would be one of the only times where it would be, you know, relative negatives. But you have these weirdos in the society too. They'll have their children up to 9, 10 years old still breastfeeding.
Oh yeah, kind.
You know?
Talking about it's all for nutrients. This is bullshit. All right, this is finishing off in Genesis, verse 24. It says, "And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan. A servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren." So that was a clear indicator through the spirit. Noah was lit off wine, and he even in that state he understood, like, yo, dude, you got to be judged for what you've just done. You've uncovered my nakedness. So if Noah through the spirit cursed his son for looking at his own father naked, what more is the Lord gonna do for two women that are laying down, seeing each other nakedness on account of they want some ride, or two men laying down watching, looking upon each other's nakedness just for the sake of some box, man. The Lord ain't having that, man. He ain't, okay, you was trying to be fruitful and multiply, whatever, I'm gonna let you pass. No, man. The Lord ain't simple like that. The Lord is gonna pass judgment, man.
Yeah, and like the scripture says, the Lord commanded all men to repent. So if you are a man that actually, you know, may have previously dealt in that arena, because you know it tells you also in Titus that we ourselves were once foolish, we were ignorant of the law. But when you hear about the law and you have to give respect unto the law, and respect your forefathers and the practices that they had, because like I said before, when you're dealing with certain sects, you worship certain gods subconsciously. You don't know that you're paying homage to Dionysus and Bacchus. You don't know that you're actually worshiping the gods, or you're actually following the culture of the ancient Babylonians, because really a lot of those gods and a lot of that sex went back to Babylon, ancient Babylon, which you dealing in terms of Babylon. You had in the land of, if I'm not mistaken, Shinar, you had the Tower of Babel. You had Babylon. You had the Erech, Akkad. A lot of these different lands, as well as Sodom and Gomorrah, which was the ancient Mesopotamian areas, they all indulged in those acts, you see? And ourselves as Israelites, we were a mini civilization that was growing prevalent in those times, but we were never, our culture wasn't like, all right, let's follow the ways of Israel, because Israel was still growing. So the main acts that most people follow was acts of wickedness, man.
Okay, because the scriptures tell you what? Take not the way, learn not the way of the heathen. And what our people have, man. This is Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination. So as we were saying, stating earlier, if two women lay down for the sake of a man, he's caused those two women to commit sodomy, man. Because those two women would not be laying down with each other had not it been for him introducing this thing, man. Or that woman, these two men would not be laying down with her if they wasn't looking upon each other's nakedness, if it wasn't for the cause of the box. So still in point, man. Threesomes are off, man, because it's women laying down with another woman, man laying down with man. Men,
yeah.
Here it is, you're sexually aroused and your sword is sticking out. And it's okay within your own mind and a perverse thought to I don't even want to think about that.
That's where a lot of diseases come by. You know, diseases mainly get transferred through what? Sex. And it's really sexual perversity. Mm-hmm. That's why, like I said, we in Atlanta, we hear stories. We know how it goes from, Freaknik. This is party central, God. Hell, right now as we speak, we in traffic, and I'm pretty sure everybody's, people are going towards a direction of wickedness. God. We actually driving to Atlanta to do the work, but a lot of people driving to Atlanta to go frolic and mingle. Hey. On a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, these party days, where they have these different big party events. I think it was earlier this year. It was either Coachella or Rolling Loud, one of those nigga events. They were saying that everybody at the event was freaking off and having sex, and a large portion of the people that was having sex caught herpes, man.
Good for them, man.
Because it was a big orgy fest, and the scriptures speak about don't appoint yourself or commune in groups of reveling. You see?
Okay.
So even a man and woman sex that's lawful, when it exceeds that to multiple parties, it becomes a public event. And that's where you have the term orgy. A three-way is a fancy way of saying orgy, man. It's all an orgy.
Okay.
You see? And we just went into the etymology. It all boils down to that term. And when you go into the etymology, which we just read, it deals with rites of worship to these gods and reveling. And the scriptures condemns the acts of reveling. So we shouldn't even be in the midst of that type of that
secret rites or ceremonies in the worship.
Oh, so why is it secret? Because it's something that shouldn't be
done.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be done, man. It shouldn't even be spoken of. Really, those people are supposed to be put to death. A sodomite is supposed to be put to death. Why? Because if he's not put to death, that spirit will jump off on another individual, and thus you get America, man.
Yeah, and that's why you have those thoughts that entertain in your mind about three ways, and things of that nature. Especially you're a brother in your early 20s. Those thoughts pop up, man. The scriptures speak about how we're supposed to rebuke the imaginations, these images that occur. So for these images or these strongholds to be rebuked and cast out, that means they had to be pushed in from some direction. God. And like you said, the vibrations come by strains or come by contact, spiritual contact by other vessels. And everybody actually justifies these things. God. Whether it's three ways, whether it's four ways, whether it's twins and men, whether it's like you say, the act of training women and things of that nature. That's what's up in today's time, man.
Okay.
But the Heavenly Father, He looks down upon those. That's filthy in His eyes, man.
God, and we ain't wanted to be too long-winded, but I'll finish off here as the last point I wanted to make for because this is Jakes out there, and I ran into Jakes within the truth that really still moving that in the spirit of Rome, man, wanting to sleep with a mother and a daughter combination, man, and the scriptures clearly speak against that. This is Leviticus chapter 18. Verse 7, Salakia, chapter 18, verse 17. It says, "Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter, neither shalt thou take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness, for they are her near kinswoman. It is wickedness." So if you sleep with a mother and then you and the mother may not work out, and then you go try to pop the daughter, that's off, man. Or if you pop the daughter, you can't go, oh, no, I'm finna go at her mama because I saw her mama giving me the googly eyes way back when. That's off, man. That's off. And for women that do those those manner of things, dealing with their daughter's boyfriend, so to speak, her daughter's husband. That's men, off. Or men.
Or men actually having sex, father and son, with because there was this chick brother posted it. This girl was basically giving praises, to her boyfriend. How they basically went through the far and long. How she had sex with his brother, had sex with his father, and all these different. She basically had sex with the whole team, and he still actually had faith. That's what she said. Still had faith in her, and now they're together and they're happily married. That's
weird. That's confusion, man. That breeds. Hey, if she got put to death, then what they be saying, man?
Yeah, and then they had it saying, if I hit her once, I can hit her again.
Yeah.
So what makes if she get the right drinking the system with, what's gonna stop her from re-indulging or what they call it, relapsing?
Yeah, relapsing. Hey, yo,
relapsing on the ride.
A clear example of that nowadays is P Diddy wicked ass, man. He's actually dating his son's daughter. I mean his son's ex-girl, knowing that he's uncovered his son's nakedness through his woman. The scriptures speak against that, man. Mm-hmm. The Lord said, "For it is wickedness, man." And we know what is the judgment for wickedness? It's death, man. Mm-hmm. The Lord the Lord is coming to put sin out of the earth, man. Mm-hmm. So with that, did you have anything else? Hey, with that, man, we didn't want to be too vulgar or, too off-putting, but Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. For brothers, continue to push the faith, man. Until the next time, Shalom.